Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar. You're here today because you find email marketing a challenge. Well, over the next 60 minutes, I'm going to show you that it doesn't have to be nearly as scary as you think. Now, if you're watching live, please remember to ask questions, put them in the questions box into the GoToWebinar panel, and I'll answer as many as I can at the end. So email marketing today allows you to reach your customers or members or whoever you're talking to, your target audience, including on their mobile phone. And as much as 56% of emails are opened on a mobile device. Now, reading this kind of email on a mobile phone would be almost impossible. And plus it takes so long to create something like that on a regular basis. And that's probably a reason why you are a bit reluctant to create email newsletters and send them out. So instead, I recommend that you start out by creating a reusable master template that looks like this. Now, the design's much simpler and it's mobile responsive, so it will look great on any device. Now, it needs just a little bit of time up front to work up that template, but it's going to help you to create those emails that you want to send out much more quickly. It's got, it's set up to match your branding and include your social media and your contact information, and that's going to remain consistent throughout your emails when you send things out. So it means when you use a master email template, it means that you get your newsletter out the door much quicker, and it means that it happens on a regular and consistent basis. So what is email marketing? So for me, it's a two-way street of communication and building up a relationship with your target audience. You want to be delivering professional communications that land in people's inboxes. They look good, they look like they're coming from you, and you want that to be to an interested audience. That means that they buy into what you're sending them. They're not bored, they don't find it irrelevant. You know, making sure that they understand what they're going to receive upfront when they sign up is really important. It's important to set that expectation. And it looks great on in any inbox. As I've said, 56% of emails are opened on mobile devices. So you want to make sure that your email looks amazing. Now, what email marketing isn't is bombarding people with emails that they don't want. And I see this happen all the time. So, make sure that you understand what your target audience wants, set an expectation with them, and deliver on that expectation. So why should you be using email marketing? I mean, for me, it really is hard to beat, and it works. It works all the time. People regularly check their emails on the smartphone. They might not open that email on their smartphone right away, but 81% of them check emails on their smartphone. And 99% of people check emails on a daily basis. So if you've already looked at your emails today, let me know in the questions box. Just type, yes, I've looked at my emails in the question box. I imagine that quite a lot of you have already done that, been there and looked at what emails you've got in your inbox. It's reliable, so it gets delivered 90+% of the time. Now imagine that, stack that up against what you post on Facebook and what your reach is, how many of your fans see your posts. That email landing in people's inbox is a great way to make sure that your message gets across. And like I said, it's a two-way street, so it's building that relationship with your subscribers. And it works. It's got 3 times the conversion rate of social media. And for every pound that you spend, there's an average return of £35.41. So that's amazing. It means that you're actually achieving good results with your newsletters. So now that you've got a basis of why you should be using email marketing and what it is, let's talk about what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to take you through the 7 essential elements that you need to design your an effective email campaign. And then what I'm going to do is jump into my ConstantContact account and show you how to put together your own reusable email master email template. Now, you don't have to use ConstantContact to do this. You can use whatever email tool that you're using, you'll be able to do this in that tool. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how to write emails that inspire action. Just before we kick off, tell you a little bit more about me. So my business turned 6 this year. I can't believe that I've been my own boss for 6 years. And before that, I was head of marketing for the UK at ConstantContact. So ConstantContact is an email marketing company and a little bit more. And it was there really that I sort of got bitten by the bug for small businesses. And I love working with people like you and helping you in my own way. I've actually been in marketing for just over 20 years. So I'm taking that experience, the experience that I gained working for bigger businesses, and helping people like you work out how to do marketing your way and find your inner marketer. So in addition to working with people one-to-one and doing stuff like this, training and coaching online, I'm also an accredited ConstantContact partner, which means I've taken exams. I'm a Small Business Britain champion, and I also work a lot with an organisation called Enterprise Nation, where I do training for the likes of Amazon and Vodafone. I have a newsletter of my own. It would be remiss of me not to. It's called The Marketing Morsel. It comes out every week on a Tuesday, but it's a little bit more than a newsletter. There's lots of benefits when you join. So there's a private Facebook group, which means you get direct access to me. I pop in there regularly and do sort of group discussions on Facebook Messenger. There's also content in there that isn't available anywhere else. I do member-only webinars. So the last webinar I did was I talked about how to create images for email marketing. And then I have my quarterly forum, which is called the Marketing Motivator, which is only open to 6 people, 6 attendees, and they're for the most engaged people in my community. And you get the opportunity to discuss the marketing challenge with me and with the other attendees, and you walk away with a solution. So I hope that's reason enough for you to sign up. There's the QR code there, and I hope to see you joining my list. So let's talk about the 7 elements that you'll need to design your template. And this is how you're going to create your master template. So there are 7 things that you'll want on every master template. You've got your header information at the top there. That's your from name and your email address. You've got your subject line and your pre-header. Then working down that email, you've got your logo. You probably want a nice image on your email, and then you've got that message body. You've got the crux of that email, what it is that you're telling people. Next, the call to action. That's the thing that you want them to do, and you need to make it really obvious. And then you've got your footer, and this is particularly good for businesses that have a physical premises or have office hours. You can put as much information in there as you want. You can see in this example, they've got their address and when they're open, and that will stay consistent throughout the emails that they send. And at the bottom, they've got their social media icons. Now, in that header information, each time that you create your email, you'll want to change the subject and add your pre-header. The image will change, your message will change, and you'll change that button or add a link. And those are the things that change, but everything else remains consistent. But you've got that set up to help you get that email out and in a timely way, which means that your email marketing happens consistently. So let's start discussing the elements of that master template. So the header information is it helps you be consistent and recognizable. So an email address that people can easily recognize. They know that it's coming from you. They know who you are. In this example, I mean, who the heck is Susan Grant? I don't know. Have I signed up to her emails? Why is she emailing me? Perhaps if Susan Grant had put her company name there, then that person who's received that email would recognize that it's her. So make it easy for people to contact you. So that reply address is really important. And then that subject line. So ideal length, 4 to 7 words. Make it snappy, make it memorable, make it something that people want to look at straight away. And then use that pre-header text. So when it displays in people's inboxes, the pre-header text is displayed directly under the subject line. And it's designed to help you, tease people more about what's in that email. So hook them with that pre-header text. Branding is hugely important. So that email needs to look like it's coming from you. So make sure that you've got your logo on it. Put it on the top left corner or in the middle. Top left corner, because when we read things on a screen, we tend to go from middle to left and then back to the middle and to the right. So it's an arc that goes that way. Make it clickable to your website. So add a link to that logo so that people click on it, they will go directly to your website. Use your brand colors. So make sure that you know exactly what your brand colors are. If you don't have those, use a tool like ColorZilla. It's an extension for Chrome. If you use Chrome, I'm sure there are other ones available, and it's color spelt the American way without the U. So ColorZilla, all one word. And what that allows you to do is take a little pipette on screen and hover over a color, and it tells you the hex and the RGB values. So you can use that to find your brand colors. Now, photos bring your emails to life. They grab people's attention. So include an image that supports your message. And I recommend sticking with one image, but make sure that it really supports the message of that email. Again, make it clickable. So in the last 2 years, we have all done a lot of online shopping, and we are used to clicking on images. So make that image clickable and take it, link it to the place directly to the page on your website that you want people to go to. Then add your text. So have a headline, again, snappy, grabs people's attention. Make it at least 22 points, so it's big and it displays well on a mobile device. Then your message body. Again, short and snappy. No one's got time to read a massive long email. So I recommend no more than 20 lines of text. Make that at least 14 point. I use 16 point. Again, that's to help you to make it visible on a mobile, so make it easier for people to read on a mobile device. And really 1 or 2 font styles at the most. I stick to one, so I use Roboto, which is one of my brand fonts, and I use that throughout so it doesn't look too busy. Add the call to action. So you want it to be easy to find. You want people to know what it is that you want them to do. So pick a button. We like clicking on buttons as much as we like clicking on images. Use a contrasting color to the background of your email that makes it stand out. And use action-oriented words so they know exactly what to do. Book now, request a copy, download our guide, shop today. Add that footer image information. So this is kind of a stamp of really useful information at the bottom of your email. And the best part is that you can set it up in your reusable master template and then forget about it. You only need to change it if something in that space changes. So, include things like your website, your opening hours, maybe some social media buttons. If you have an FAQ page on your website, link to your FAQs. So those are the elements of the 7 elements of a master email template. Now what I'm going to do is switch off my webcam, and I'm going to take you into my ConstantContact, that's the wrong one, my ConstantContact account, to show you exactly how to create that. Oh, I don't want to do that. Create that master email template. Right, let's go in here and that. Oh no, in the wrong place again. Gosh, I'm getting my sharing wrong. Right, that's where I want to be, and hopefully you should be able to see my ConstantContact account. Let's just make sure that you can. Okay, so we're in my ConstantContact account, and you can see that it's got all sorts of information on the dashboard here, but I'm going to get into straight away into creating that template. So let's get this up. And you can see when you do create, it brings up a mass of templates that you can use. They're all already created ones that you can rebrand. But what I'm going to do is head into this layouts template. So if you want to start by, from scratch, there are different layouts in this screen and you can pick one, and I'm going to pick this one that says card, and I'm going to customize this template. I'm going to give it a title. There we go, master email template. So that's that. This doesn't look much like my brand at all at the moment. It looks quite dull and grey. So I'm going to pop into this design tab. And the first thing I'm going to do is give myself a white background because the other one is too dark. I'm going to change the dividers. I'm going to actually make them my blue. So let's go into this advanced bit and paste in my hex value for blue. This will become obvious why I've done it as I build out this template. Then I'm going to look at the fonts, and as I said, I use one font, which is Roboto, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to make that my purple. I'm going to change the body text to Roboto, and I like that black so it stands out from the background. And any body links are going to be my green, and I'm going to have them underlined so people know what they're doing. And you can change that as you go down for all of these things, and you can see I've made that body text Roboto, and that's changed here. So there are many sections here and you can change them as you go along, but we'll leave that as it is because that's got to where I want to be. And then my buttons are always green, and I'm going to pick Roboto for that. I'm going to tune that up to 18, and you can see that that's changed that button on the screen. So that's the basis of my master template. Now I'm going to just build it out a little bit more with some other things. So you can see that it says it's got put your logo here. Well, I don't have a logo. I have a masthead which I use, which is here. So I'm going to click and drag that along there. So that's fit that square really nicely. And because that's not going to change, I'm going to put in my website address here. So I'll put my services page because it'd be nice for people to look at that. So that's my masthead done, and the top bit, the logo, and that goes across the email, and you can see that I linked that. So anytime someone clicks on that, they'll be taken straight to my services page. Now, I would like my text to be left aligned, and what I want to do is put in a greeting. So insert and a greeting tag, and it's hello, first name, or just hello because I don't like greetings, and click insert. So that will change that will change it will add the person's first name if you have that in your contact details, but if you don't, it will just put in hello. And I can see that my body copy is still only 14, so I've obviously not changed that. So there we go. Let's move that up to 16. So every time I add anything, that will make it 16 point. So I've got my body copy here. I've got my button, and then I'm just going to add a little bit. Oh, I don't want a heading. I'm just going to add a little bit more text here so that I can finish off my email. And then I'm going to add an image here so that I can insert my signature. Now, there's my signature. So I'm going to click and drag that into there and put it on the left. So that's shaping up to be a good template for my newsletter. I want to have a divider. So remember, I made my dividers blue, and you can see that as I put that in there, you can see that it's blue, but what I'm going to do is make it a little bit thicker so it's obvious that it's a divider. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more text, and here's where I'm going to put my footer information. So that's my information that will stay the same every time my email goes out. So I'll put in my website address here, and I'll just, what I'm going to do is add another text box. Is that going to let me do that there? No. Oh gosh, I didn't want to do that. Let's undo that. Let's delete that and put that 2-column thing in. And it's put it in the wrong place. Oh, it doesn't want to go there. Right, let's delete that. I would just add a piece of text here. Do what I was going to do. So that can be my footer information that always stays the same. You can see that I've got social media buttons here, and I can edit these. And the really great thing is that I can edit the icons. So I can make them pick from any of these here, and I can change their shape. So I don't mind the circles, but I like a little bit of color, so I'm going to change those. And here is where you add your links, so to your social networks, and you can add a network as well. So I'll put in LinkedIn because I've got a LinkedIn page, and I'll put in YouTube because I've got a YouTube channel. But you can see you can all, oh, I've got a Google My Business page, so I'll add that in too. And you can add TikTok, you can add an email, so you can put an email, your email address in there, or you can put your website in there, but we've already got our my website in the footer. So I won't put all those links in there, but when you set up your master template, what you want to do is make sure that all your links are in there, and then those will stay each time you use that template. And I'm just going to put those to the left so everything is left aligned. Let's get rid of this. So that is my master template, and I thought I had changed the name, but let's go in and do that now. Let me change that. So that's my master email template, and that's all that all you have to do to create that. It's let's just hit save one more time, and if I go back to my campaigns, you'll see that that template is there now. That's what I've just created this past hour. So let's just come back to let's just come back to this screen here. Oh. So at this point, I just want to really talk about what you're going to put into your email campaigns. So let's discuss how to create emails that inspire action. Now, just remember that the questions box is there. So if anything that I've gone through right now needs, you've got questions about, make sure you put your questions into that box. So let's talk about how to inspire action. Number one, finding images. So I think that you should put a supporting image in your emails. I think it's really important because it grabs people's attention. It draws your readers into your message. Now, of course, it's better if you can use your own photos. That means that you've got original images, perhaps of you and or your team or your products. If you're like me, a service-based business, you at work, maybe with clients. But if you can't find, if you can't, take your own pictures, you can always access free and paid stock photos. You could do that within ConstantContact, but you can also do that with other image sites. What you don't want to do is go on the internet, Google, and take an image that you find there, because it's not yours. It's not free to use, and you could find yourself infringing copyright laws. So there are a variety of stock image websites. There's unsplash.com. If you use Canva, you have access to stock photos within your Canva account. When searching for images, try and avoid anything that looks too staged, but you want them to look natural and realistic because they tend to work better. Make sure that you spend a little, if you're using a stock image, just spend a little bit of time searching for images, because I found that people tend to use the first image, or search for a little while and scroll and pick an image in that first few images that they see. If you scroll a bit deeper, you can find images that people don't use. And when you download a photo, make sure that the image is around between 600 to 800 pixels to get the best quality. You want it to look really good in your email. So you need to figure out what to say, what to write in the body of your email. And it's one of the things that seems to just trip people up. I know that lots of people tell me that, oh God, I don't want to start a newsletter. I haven't got anything to say. Well, you have got lots to say, but having a structure will help you do that, and it will help you encourage your readers to take action. So let's break this down into 3 questions that you'll want to answer for your type of business. And this is to help you create that structure in the email to get you writing it. So the first question is, what are you offering? So from a design perspective, this is your headline, and its goal is to draw people in, stop the reader, want them to read more about what's in that email. Ooh. The next thing is, how is it going to help your reader? So this is where you provide some information and show them the benefits, perhaps just 3 to 5 sentences that gives people the precise information that they need. And then what should they do next? We're all busy, and it's sometimes, if it's not obvious in an email what you want, what people want you to do, you won't do it. So make sure that what you want them to do next is clear and it's easy to find. Make sure that you use, like I said, action words so that people know exactly what you want them to do. And this simple formula is going to help you to really define what goes in your email, and it will help you, that structure will help you write your email more easily. So as you're designing your campaign, it's important to keep it simple. So to help people to take action, to inspire your readers to take action, keep your emails short and sweet. So when you copy your reusable master template, you only really need to add a picture, a paragraph, and your call to action. and that's it. So at this point, what I'm going to do is head back into my ConstantContact account. Let's see if you're seeing that. Oh, audience view. No, let's share that screen. And I'm going to show you how to put together your email using your master template. So I'm just going to switch off my webcam so that that makes it easier for you to focus. Right, so here's my master template. And what I can do is click on these three dots and copy it. So I want to copy that template, and I'm going to give it a new name so that it's recognizable when I look at my campaigns. So newsletter, and normally I date my newsletters backwards so that I know I get all my newsletters from the same year in the same place. What is the date today? May the 4th. I would love to talk to like Yoda, but I can't. So that's my that's my file name change, and this is a copy of the master template. Right, so let's add some content. I want to have this is how I normally put together my email. So the first thing, oh, I forgot to add an image in my master template. Let's put an image in there. So the first thing I want to do is add a good image. So this is for a webinar that I did previously. So let's put that in there. And that's telling people exactly what this email is about. It's going to tell them that I've got a webinar coming up. And remember that people click on images. So I'm going to put my link to the registration page in there. Now I'm going to put in the body copy. So this is me telling people a little bit about what is in this email. So is this one of the things that you want to learn this year? That's why you need to just pop this in. So really short and sweet. And then I'm actually going to link this button. So rather than book now, save your place now. And again, insert my link. And then oh, but then I am just going to finish this off. If you can't make this webinar, can't spell, webinar, save your place anyway, and I'll send you a recording so that they know, actually I can't make it, but I'm going to get a recording if I save my place. So that's my email. It didn't take very long to put together at all. Then what I want to do is add the header information. So I really leave this to the last thing that I do when I write my email. And I do that because writing the content inspires me to write a subject line or a pre-header. So let's click in here. You can see though, ConstantContact actually recommends subject lines. So if you're struggling, you can go in and ConstantContact will work through your email and recommend subject lines and pre-headers. So I already have some text. So let's put this in here. Fill in my pre-header text. So you've still got time for this. People are going to go, what is this? What? I still have time for it. I need to know. register to watch live or on demand. Well, oh, I can watch live, or I could watch on demand, but what am I watching live or on demand? You can see that I've got my from name set up, my from email address, reply email address all set up. And I have to say that a lot of people, a lot of big businesses use no reply at email addresses, which I think is wrong, because nothing says I care less about you than a no reply at email address. You can see that that's my email address. If you reply to any of my newsletters, your email will land in my Outlook box and you will get a response from me. So it's always good to have an email address that people can actually communicate with you, because it's a two-way street and you're building a relationship. And that's it, that's your email done. So the next thing that you want to do is continue, and you'll come to this page, and you'll have this, whichever email tool you use, you will have a place where you can either send your email straight away, or you can schedule it for later. And I'm going to schedule it for later. So I've got my email list, my newsletter list, and I'm going to schedule it for Tuesday next week at 1 o'clock. I don't want early results. You can see I've got 20 recipients on my list. All my information is here. That was in the header, so I know that that's all right. And I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click schedule, and that will be sent out next week on the 9th at 1 p.m. and then I'll be able to view my results. And you can see here it even gives me the option to actually create social media posts with my campaign. So at the same time as my newsletter goes out, it can be shared on social networks, on my social networks. You just have to hook that up. So that is how you create your email, and you can do it very quickly once you have your master email template set up. So let's flip back to our slides and just put it all together. So I've shown you how you can create your newsletter using that master template, which is just a great way to make sure that you're consistent with your email marketing. Once you've got that template set up and you have a plan, so you know in advance what you're going to write about, I really do recommend that you put together a plan for your email marketing. So you know each time that you sit down to write your newsletter, you know exactly what's going to go in it. And that makes an email marketing plan, coupled with having a master template, makes it much easier for you to create an email newsletter and do it consistently. So if you decide that you're going to send an email every month, you sit down once a month, and if you've got 3 months worth of content planned out, you could actually sit down for even a couple of hours and create 3 months worth of emails and schedule them and not have to think about it again. So there's a really important reason for you to create that master email template. So this is the result. I showed you this email at the beginning. This is the result for a small business in the US. ConstantContact spent some time helping Peter, who owns this business, with his email marketing, and he created this new email design. So he's got his master template and he created his email much more quickly. I mean, it's not perfect. You can see there's a little bit of improvement, but the information that he's got there is much shorter. It's much easier to read. It matches his brand, and it looks great on a mobile phone too. And I know ConstantContact told me that he sent 2 emails and made just over $900 because he made these changes. So he's followed a simple system, the simple system that I've showed you, and has got, you know, incredible results, and you could be getting those results too. So let's just recap. we went over the 7 elements that you need to create your master email template. And once you've done that, you just keep reusing that template. So you're not creating emails from scratch again and again and again. You've got a template, it's got matches your brand, it's got your logo on it, everything is set up, and all you need to do is change a few bits and pieces. So you add an image, change your headline, add your text, add your call to action, subject line and pre-header. Those are the things that you're changing, the things that matter, that mean that your readers are inspired to take action. Keep that email simple. I can't tell you how many times I get emails that are just paragraphs and paragraphs of text, and it just is a massive turn off. So small amounts of text, you know, just one image, one call to action, that's all you need. And when people have limited choices, they make a choice. If you give somebody a choice of 5 different calls to action versus 1, you'll see, test it for yourself, you'll see what works better. So create that reusable master template and make sure that it's consistent in your brand and your layout. We get used to specific, you know, we get used to seeing things and seeing patterns. So if your email lands in people's inboxes and they see that branding and that consistent layout, they'll get used to knowing where to go to take that action. They'll know that they've got a little bit of text to read. They'll know that it's from you because it looks like it's coming from your business. You should always make sure you have the right tools to run your business. I rely on a handful of tools, which I use pretty much every day. And you've just seen, I've just shown you one of those. It's ConstantContact. It's built to simplify the complex and confusing task of marketing an idea. And as a certified ConstantContact partner, I can help you to bring it to life. Now, ConstantContact has all the tools you need and tips to get your online marketing on track. So whether it's creating a great looking email marketing campaign or welcome emails or list join tools, you've got that. They've also got easy tools to build an awesome website with all the essentials. If you're just getting started and you want a website, all the essentials are there. Oh. You can manage social ads and your social media profiles. So you can schedule your posts. I showed you a little bit of the feature in the newsletter, but you can also schedule other posts right within ConstantContact. You can create logos. I went into my ConstantContact account and I created a logo for Hillingdon Hour. So I am one of the hosts of Hillingdon Hour, which is a weekly Twitter chat. And I created the logo for Hillingdon Hour in there because I needed something simple, and because we're all volunteers and we don't have any budget, there was no budget to pay a designer to do that for us. And you can build a store. So if you are an e-commerce business or you want to sell something, you can build a store. You can create shoppable landing pages, which is what I did last year with my Small Business Saturday ebook. So there is tons in there and it's all in one place and it's designed to help you succeed online. So there we have it. That's how you can get started with email marketing. Having a template means that you can create your emails in 15 minutes or less. Just let that sink in. So you spend a little bit of time up front creating that master template, but imagine getting your email done in less than 15 minutes. My weekly email now takes me about 10 minutes to put together, and you can achieve that. And if you'd like to try it for yourself, the link on the screen there and the QR code gives you 60 days access to ConstantContact, and you can also look at the other tools that I just mentioned. So I'm going to leave this slide up and I'm just going to go into the questions, and let's see what questions we have. Richard's just asked, if you have a lot to say, is it better to summarize in the email and link to a blog post? Absolutely. every time I write a blog post, I think, oh, I'm not sure that I've got a lot to write in here, and it ends up being over 1,000 words. And can you imagine that in an email? It will be impossible. So I tend to write a little bit in my email and link out to the blog post so that people can go and read it. And another thing is it gets people to your website, right? So Richard, I know you sell things on your website, so it's a great way to get people over to your website, not just to read your blog post, but they'll go, oh, I'll just have a look at the shop. So make sure that you know, you are linking back to your website, and especially for blog posts, because if you're writing a, you know, long form content, you don't want all of that to be in your email. Teresa, how frequently should you email people if your product is a very high value? So like, my services are, they're not massively expensive, but they're higher value than buying something for £15 online. I email every week, but I set that expectation right at the outset when people join my email list. They are told that they will get an email from me every week. It's entirely up to you how often you want to email your list, but to get their buy-in, to help them understand what you're going to be sending them and how often, be transparent at the beginning. So if you decide that you want to email them once a month, tell them it's a monthly email, tell them what they'll get in that email. So a lot of my emails are informational. They quite often lead to blog posts or things like this, where I'm giving a bit more education, almost face to face. You can see my face, I can't see yours. But you need to figure out what it is that you want to send, and what, so that forms part of your email marketing strategy. So you want to understand the different types of emails that you might want to send to people and how often you're going to do that. And sometimes you know, if you say that you're sending a monthly newsletter, but you've got something to share that won't wait, or it's time sensitive and it won't wait till the next time you send your regular newsletter, it's okay to send it out, but tell people, you know, I'm sending you this outside of my monthly newsletter because the deadline for this will have passed by then, and I don't want you to miss out. So for me, it's about being upfront with people and being honest with them, setting expectations and meeting those expectations. I'm just gonna have a little drink of water. My voice is going to give out today. Teresa, again, what are your thoughts on having all the content in the email versus a taster paragraph that links to a web page with the full content? I think I've just covered that with Richard's question about a blog post. So definitely have the taster bits, just because realistically, when we're reading emails, if we know that it's a marketing email, it has to have something in there that is absolutely vital for us. You're here because you wanted to learn about email marketing. Wherever it is that you saw details about this webinar, you read what this webinar is going to be about, and you registered because it's something that is important to you. So in your emails, you know, approach it that way. Why is this thing important to my readers? Why should they care about it? And how quickly can I get them to the place where I want them to be to read more about it? So I would definitely, less is more. So I would definitely put in the taster bit and then link off to where they can get more information. And it's two reasons for that. One, it's getting them into the habit of clicking on links. But number two, if they're clicking on a link, they're telling you that they're interested. And the more clicks you get, the more you understand what interests your readers, and the more similar content you can give them. Because if they're reading that, you don't know if they're reading your email. The opens will tell you that they've opened it, but you don't know whether they've read it from start to finish, right? But if they've clicked on a link to go to a blog post on your website, you know that they're interested in that, and chances are they have read that blog post. So that piece of information tells you that that topic is important to them. And if you get lots of people clicking, you're like, well, I've hit a chord here. I need to find more content that's similar to this because it's important to my list. So I hope that's helped you. Any more questions? Trace says clicks versus opens. Very good point. Thank you. I always say opens are important in the sense that they help you understand whether you're sending at the right time for your readers. So at the point where you get the most opens, that's the sort of the sweet spot that you should be sending. And most opens happen within the first hour of sending an email. So you need to understand if that, you know, when you send your email, is it a good day and a good time for your readers? And you can do that with a bit of testing. So you know, send when you decide to test the day first. So send an email on 2 different days and look at on which day you get the most opens. Then test some times within the favorite day and see what happens and see where the most opens happen for that. And then that gives you that sweet spot. But the clicks are equally important, and that's why you know, some people will tell you it's not necessary to have a link in every email, and I just think I like to put a link in every email because it tells me, it gives me information about what my audience finds interesting. And you know, none of us have loads of time. We don't have time to guess what our readers find interesting. So we need for them to tell us, and one of the ways that they tell us is by clicking on things. Amazing. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. If there are no more questions, I'm going to end this webinar early and let you get on with your day. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will just let you know that as you leave this webinar, there will be a short survey that pops up. It's only got 3 questions, and it would really help me if you took in the time to fill in those questions and just tell me what you thought of today, and perhaps even what else you might want to know about email marketing. I'm going to work on getting the recording out to you. I'm hoping to get it out to you this afternoon. It depends on how long it takes to render. So do watch out for that, and I will hopefully see you on another webinar very soon. Take care and have a wonderful day.